The Gotham Knights news continues to roll on through like an absolute juggernaut. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? My name is Blitzwinger, and once again, we've got some Gotham Knights to discuss. For those of you that have not been following good googly moogly, there's been a lot of revelations over the last, I would say, maybe about 48 or so hours. Now, what am I talking about? Well, first and foremost, we found out about the playable Batman character model, which I did a video on. You can go on ahead and check it out. Just stay until the end of the video. It'll basically take you to that video if you click on it, but you can see the details of that. Next, we got these, which is incredible. We got a lot of really cool concept art that was posted over on the Gotham Knights Reddit, and it showcases some really cool stuff here. Characters that maybe were planned for Gotham Knights but did not see the light of day. Now, what am I talking about? Well, let's kick things off with the most obscure of these characters. You're probably going to be like, who the heck is this particular one? Well, we're going to kick things off with the one and only Zachary Gate, also known as the Architect, which is a bit of an obscure villain for sure. But if you've never read the Batman Gates of Gotham storyline by Scott Snyder, I definitely recommend it. It's pretty short. I feel like the trade paperback might be literally like under 10 bucks. So you can legit get through it pretty quick. It's a short read and it's really well illustrated. But in that particular storyline, this character played a pretty prominent factor, and interestingly enough, just like in that storyline where he was involved with like explosive attack on the bridges of Gotham City, it seems like he would have made perfect sense for this video game as well, because once again, there are a lot of bridges that you cross across in this game, and I think it would have actually probably worked pretty well. In fact, I wouldn't have been surprised if initially he might have been the character that prevented you from getting across all of Gotham as part of some sort of either a side quest or maybe even one of the main quests. So unfortunately, he does not appear in the Gotham Knights video game, but they do have concept art done up for him and he looks pretty stylish. I really do like the look. I think it would have been a really fun character to battle. But that's not all. We got more villains to discuss, and next up is Solomon Grundy, a character that is definitely well known to Batman video game fans because we fought him multiple times now in several different Batman games, and it seems like he was at least potentially considered as a villain for Gotham Knights as well. Looking very different than what we've seen before, at least in one of his looks, rocking this weird like earring and kind of a emo look in general, but he did have as well a concept art that made him look a little bit more like the traditional Solomon Grundy when you think of Solomon Grundy. And again, I think this character would have made for a really fun boss fight. In fact, I wouldn't even mind if we got this as a DLC, just because I think it'd be cool to go up against a foe like this. I wonder if maybe they removed Solomon Grundy from the game or didn't end up adding him into the game just because maybe they felt like they wanted Clayface to be sort of the big giant physical boss fight that you're fighting, and having yet another one in the form of Solomon Grundy might have felt a bit redundant. So my guess is that maybe that was a partial contributing factor for why that occurred. But brace yourself, because this is where things get even crazier. So first and foremost, we have Damien Wayne. And these particular sketches for Damien Wayne are actually what he was going to look like in place of Tim Drake Robin, whom we actually did get in the game. So for those that don't know, obviously there's many different iterations of the Robin character. Many different people have held that moniker, with the latest one being Damien Wayne. And apparently, at least initially, the plans were in place to actually select Damien Wayne as the Robin for Gotham Knights. That then got obviously adjusted because we ended up with Tim Drake, but we still do have these concept art images of what Damien Wayne might have looked like in the game. And I think the way that you kind of know for a fact that this is not a separate character is the fact that he's rocking an identical weapon to that of Robin. So it makes sense that they would have probably gone ahead and utilized either Damien or Tim and chose to go with Tim Drake for whatever reason it might be. Maybe, just maybe, if Gotham Knights ever does end up getting DLC, maybe we could see Damien Wayne as a possible character included. And then we have, last but certainly not least, a very exciting concept art image of Catwoman. Catwoman in 3 different costumes. I'm going to be honest, the costume in the middle, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't really like that ear design. It just looks a little bit dorky looking to me personally, but I am a huge fan of the 2 other designs. The design on the far right looks really cool. It kind of almost looks like a pilot kind of costume, like an old school pilot. So I do like that design. I think it looks pretty cool. And then the one all the way on the left looks like a really nice modern take on a Catwoman suit that would fit in the Gotham Knights universe, being the tactical suit. Now, I'm not sure if they were planning to have Catwoman be a villain or a hero. I guess based on the fact that there are multiple suits, I kind of lean more towards the idea that Catwoman was planned to maybe be a hero character, just because all the other heroes have different suits just like this, where they are substantially different looks, whereas the villains have been pretty uniform in the game. So I don't think that this was an indication that Catwoman is going to be a villain. I do think that this probably means that at least at some point in time, there was a plan for maybe Catwoman to appear in this game as one of the playable characters. So as you can see, that is a whole lot of awesome news for Gotham Knights. But that's not all, because one of the people that went ahead and started digging into the files of the game on PC has actually found evidence that at one point in time, there was actually a plan to have a day cycle for Gotham City as well. So the game wouldn't always take place at night, and you would actually be able to see what Gotham City looks like in the daytime, which I think is actually kind of interesting, because that got me thinking. There is no Batman game, at least since Batman Arkham Asylum, where we get to explore Gotham City in the daytime. It's kind of interesting when you really think about it. I guess it makes sense, since in the comics, in the movies, Batman always goes out at night. It makes sense that therefore the game would be playable at night. But I do find it interesting if we would ever get a game where you could actually see Gotham in the sunlight. I don't know if such a thing actually exists, just because I feel like in Gotham, when it's daytime, it's probably overcast and raining just because it's Gotham. But I still would love to actually see a game where we could see the daytime look of Gotham City. So there you go, guys. A lot to cover, a lot that is very, very cool to see here. Is any of this stuff interesting to you in the sense that you would love to see it added into Gotham Knights? Are you bummed out if we never actually see any of these elements in Gotham Knights? Let me know down in the comment section below. Of course, in addition to that, if you want to watch that video about the Batman news that I uploaded yesterday, click the link on the screen right now and go check it on out. And of course, in addition to that, there's yet another video available for you to go on ahead and click if you'd like to watch that one instead. Thanks all for watching. I appreciate your support. Have an absolutely fantastic day. Peace out. See you later, alligators.